We back up in this thing. You can't roll with us if your last name don't got no loyalty. Podcast party poppin', but you already knew. I've been rolling with these folks. This that Monday night crew. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you.
Yo, what's happening, good people, man? Welcome back to another episode of the Monday Night Crew. It's your boy K.Mims, the only spot you get authenticity and entertainment at the same time. We got the ladies of the show tonight, Miss Brittany, Miss Asia. What's happening?
Hey.
I got my bros, Louis B, DJ J Dub. What's happening?
Yo, what up? What's going on?
Man, we got a very special guest on tonight, man. I'm going to throw it to my bro, Louis B, to get us started, man.
All right, what's up, everybody? So I have the pleasure of knowing this gentleman for some time from my hometown. He's a very talented individual and certainly destined for greatness. And so I'd like to welcome my brother, comedian King David. What's going on, bro?
Oh, man. Thank y'all, man, for having me. God bless y'all, man. Appreciate that, Louis. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. So we're pleasure to have you here with us, man. I just want to really dive in and give our audience a little bit of insight about you and how you got started. So I'd like to start it off with one question, my brother. You know, how did you know that this was a route you wanted to go, being a comedian and content creator?
Oh, man. Well, it all started long back in the playing. No, man, it was it's always been something, you know, that I knew that it was a gift of mine at a young age, you know, bringing joy and bringing laughter to people, man. And just going throughout the years, you know, just knowing that I can make people laugh. And you know, when social media took off, I saw that it was, you know, a thing, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, man, I'm a real spiritual person, man. I'm connected with the Lord, you know, I'm down with God, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he showed me a vision, y'all. You know, that vision was me on stage in front of a lot of people. So I just chose comedy, you know what I'm saying? And I did that, man. And y'all, I was able to rock the stage with some of the greatest that we grew up, you know, watching, you know, Sinbad, Michael Collier, Tony Rock, the whole Rock family, Chris Rock, Michael Collier, I said Alex Thomas, the list goes on, man. And I did all of that through God's, you know, grace, by God's permission. I don't take no credit for that. You know what I'm saying? It was the vision that he showed me. The only thing I take credit for is this taking action to that vision that he showed me. Obedience. And obedience, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I did that for like a straight 6 years. And about last year, that's when I took the content creation really serious, because I left my job. And I during that time of me leaving my job, y'all, I was like, listen, I gotta do something, can't just sit here. You know what I'm saying? So during that time from like March till June of 2024, man, I just started popping off with videos of doing like dad and husband related content. And within like a month or two of me staying consistent, posting, I went viral, got over like 5 million views, like overnight type of thing, man. And just started, it just started going from there, y'all. I just kept going, you know, I just kept going with it. And a year later now, here I am where I'm at, you know what I'm saying, with over 40,000 something followers throughout the social media platform, with over 50 million something views and counting. And I give that all glory to God, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, your faith and your blessings walk hand in hand, you know what I mean? So that's how that started, man. I'm sorry if I was long-winded.
No, you good. That's what it's for.
I mean? I can't stop smiling. I'm so proud of you, dog. Like,
thank you, thank you, man.
Coming from where we come from, like real small town, and you know, the irony is, you see people like Tabitha and Chance and Alphonse Nicholson and yourself, and so many people coming from this small little county, right? Where we have to say we from Greensboro, and now all these people blowing up and are becoming stars. I guess the last question I would have is, I understand that, you know, you've been led spiritually to really walk into your purpose.
Right on.
When you are in these rooms with these people, right, that we saw on TV that seemed so far away, and now you're in these rooms and and walking and perfecting your gift as well, right? Mm-hmm. How are you able to stay focused, man? How are you able to stay humble and stay true to who you are?
Well, it all goes back to my roots with my Heavenly Father, man. That's what keeps me humble, man, because that's who I'm trying to impress. You know what I'm saying? I'm flattered and I'm thankful to be in the room with amongst these men and these women that God has blessed me to be around, because when you use your gift, he put you around people that in the same platform, same same thing what you got going on, man. So just me staying grounded with the Lord, man, being down with him and just knowing what to do, what not to do, what to take in, what not to take in. All advice ain't good advice, you know what I'm saying? But I've had good experience with some of them, have bad experience with some. You learn as you go in this thing, man. That's in life. You're gonna meet good people and bad people. But that's what has kept me grounded, man. Just my connection with the Lord, man. Just staying down and just staying humble to him, just being obedient, like you say. You know what I mean?
We with that. Well, we trying to get there with you, bro. We trying to be consistent with our platform, and we trying to get in those same rooms. So,
man, let me tell you something. I saw
you had something you were gonna comment on, bro.
Yeah.
I just have one quick question, man.
Right on.
So, I appreciate you tapping in. I want to ask, man, how do you know you funny? Because a lot of people, comedy is not like, how did you know you were funny to keep going?
Well, it takes people like Lewis, like, you know what I'm saying? Like people growing up like that, man, coming to me, telling me, man, Kyle, you funny, man. And I'm talking about they laughing until they crying or like hunching over. And you know what I'm saying? Just that joy and that interaction that I would have with that person. They would leave away from me, like remembering who I was, you know what I'm saying? So me just, one time I was talking to a dog and it started laughing. So I was like, man,
Go ahead, man.
No, I just let it. But man, it's just a gift, man. It's like if you know you can play ball, you can ball. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got it, man. It's something that I enjoy doing, man. Like ain't no money can make me feel better than me putting a smile on all y'all's faces like I just did just now. You know what I'm saying? That brings that, man. It just fumigates my heart, man. Just pumps it. You know what I'm saying? It keeps me going. Just to see smiles on people's faces, man, because we all going through something. We all know somebody going through it. We all been in it and going through it. You know what I'm saying? So why not put a smile on your face? And I can do that, and it's led by me, man. That makes me feel good. Make like I'm doing my job, man. So, and you're right. It's two different things now. Knowing you're funny and getting on stage is two totally different things now. That's two totally different things. But when that crowd is quiet, boy, woof.
Yeah, I believe you. Hey, Lou, that's my only question, bro. I'll throw it back to you, brother.
No, that was it, bro. We just wanted to dive in a little bit. I got plenty of stories, and I can confirm the funniness. That's for later time. My brother, he started out with the Lord. We gonna keep it in that vein. All right, I ain't gonna go backwards.
We can't backslide.
Yeah, we're not gonna backslide. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. All right, now King David, you are now entering the danger zone with the Monday Night Crew.
Let's get
into this social news. All right, man. So, if you do live under a rock, we are here to inform you. If you do not live under a rock, man, BSimone and her best friend recently shot a podcast, I believe in on her platform. And her best friend spoke about things of when she was struggling and what it was like to witness BSimone give money to others and kind of figure out, what her journey would look like while being friends with a celebrity. So I send it in the chat. I know most of us have probably seen it. So the conversation right now is, do y'all think it's a bad reflection on BSimone the person, BSimone the celebrity, on how friends operate, or just what's your overall thoughts? I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna go to a lady first, man. I feel like we can't comment on BSimone as men first. So, Miss Brittany, let's give your thoughts first, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So, I have been a BSimone fan for a very, 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 very long time.
Damn.
Okay. I was actually very eager. I met her down in the Miami Improv once when she was doing that boyfriend thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Watching her kind of transition into celebrity, like a real celebrity over time, it hurt my heart so much because I had to remove myself from a lot of things. Why? Because I feel like what the question that you're asking about her and this whole friendship thing is one of the many things that she's done in the past few years that just like shows her true character. I'm sorry, but I just feel like she has so many demons that she is fighting and battling within herself, and it is literally pouring onto everything that she touches, from her business to her friends to whatever. Sis genuinely called her, had some great news to share, and she took that away from her and then tried to backpedal on the podcast talking about, oh, well, I wasn't jealous. I wouldn't call that jealous. I was just angry and sad. Well, what exactly are you angry and sad about? Oh, I wanted to do it together. Okay. So that means that like, if I can't materialize off of something we're doing together or something that is better for me, to put me in a space and I can't be happy for my friends, that's like strike 575 for me. She has shown her hand time and time again. People are like, oh, BSimone, the celebrity. No, it's her as a person that just needs to get it together. I'm not here for it. She has lost me as a fan completely. I'm disappointed, honestly.
Interesting. Okay. So I agree with you, Brittany. I just think, the writing was on the wall. I think BSimone has never showed up as anybody other than what we saw. You know what I mean? I think the thing she went through allowed us to see it, but like she always came off that way. It always like was an opportunist to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think the more glaring point to me was, well, I don't know how the way they went about Jackie O's death. Yes. The way she was kind of like trying to monetize off somebody else's passing and somebody else's trauma.
What happened?
Like, she tried to stream the funeral, but like told people they had to pay her if they wanted her to stream it.
Oh, no.
And watch and join her close friends to watch her mourn through like the whole entire death and the whole entire.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm gonna be real, and I'm gonna try to keep it cool, but like I judge the people that stay around after they saw that.
Yeah,
like how you see somebody move like that, and then now, oh no, I'm not on this, I'm not on that. And then specific to what we're talking about now, that's not how you move with any type of best friend. And for you to allow that to be recorded, your person to edit it, and you to clear it is even worse than her getting up there saying it. Like that's even worse than what she felt. And you like, Jesus, what best friend know you ain't going through that? You know what I'm saying? Like you acting surprised, so that makes it even worse. Hey, look,
Jesus.
Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, but King David, what's your thoughts, bro? What you got on it?
Jesus. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I think. These jokers, man, everybody be seeking attention. But it could be a lot of factors. You know what I'm saying? A lot can play into what, you know what I mean? But man, if that's your best friend, best friend is up here, man. So I'm gonna know without you even telling me if you need help. You ain't gonna have to tell me nothing. I'm gonna already know what's up, and I'm gonna, do what I can, Lord's will, to, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a thing that you ain't gonna have to ask. Her best friend, she couldn't wait to get on the show to tell her that. And she told her that on the show. Yeah, honey, I saw you get that check and I ain't get nothing.
Yeah.
And she was Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like she felt that just like we felt it when we watched it. Oh yeah. Her ears and whole face was just, that's why she wanted to get all emotional and talk about her. And a hit dog will holler more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I don't. It's foul to me, because that's your best friend. That's like me and Lou. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we boys, and if I know something's up, and I'm in a position where I can help you, bro, and if I don't do nothing, dang, man, you know what I'm saying? And likewise, you know what I mean?
You don't think that tie into like how guys are versus how women are when it comes down to friendship? Like, whoa, my bad, Asia. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, Asia, okay. I'm gonna ask you then. Asia, you don't feel like that ties into how guys are and how women are? How guys are women are when it comes to friendship?
I made that face only because I do think that when you have a genuine friend, like a genuine like sisterhood, if I have it, Britt has it. There's no question about it. It's not even like a sis can I have or whatever the case may be. If I see or if I hear that my sister is going through something, I'm gonna show up for her. However, she needs me to show up for her, and in the capacity that I have it. Right. And so if it is emotional support, I have it with emotional support. If it's a financial something, she will have that as well, right? If I have it to give. And if I don't have it to give financially, you better believe I'm showing up emotionally. Like my I feel like my friends and the people that are connected to me will never be bankrupt regarding like, especially emotionally, or just having that connection. I think that it's like, I have so many thoughts on this.
Let them fly.
I have a thing. I don't always appreciate the lack of fruit that BSimone has versus what she claims to be. I have a very, very hard time with that because it is scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal. And it's not just in one arena, it's in multiple arenas, right? So it's financial when she was on YouTube and she was like her race to become a millionaire, right? And then she wanted to become an author. And then we found out that she was plagiarizing folks' stuff, right? And then it went from her, this is not her first scandal or her first conversation with a best friend, right? And so like it is even within her weight loss journey. First it was there were supplements that she was taking and then she was doing it all on her own. And so for me, it comes off as the fruit is just not lining up. To me, it's just not lining up. You can't be trusted for me, right? I think I can watch on entertainment basis, but if it's for something, you know, and I do think that she, folks do relate to her in some ways, but even when she talked about not feeling jealous, right? Because what she meant to say was she was not envious, right? Because envy is about desiring what somebody else has. Sure. But jealousy, though, is a perceived threat to a relationship or a possession. That is exactly what she described. Right. And so for me, it's just her. Yeah, I have a lot of issues because I can't tell who her authentic self is. And I get it because people are on the journey to finding it, but I would rather that be said.
Asia, how do you say you don't like somebody outside of how you just said it?
Because I do understand the concept, right, of people showcasing their journeys, especially on social media, right? And so I can only judge her by her fruit. I don't think it's authentic fruit. I think it's sour and all the other things, but I cannot say that I don't like her as a person. I don't like who she perceives to be in various aspects of her social media self. That's what I can say.
Jay, what's your thoughts, brother?
I mean, I think she showed us who she is, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to showing up for her friends and dealing in those type of environments, I think she's letting everybody know, whether it's like verbal, nonverbal, she's letting everybody know, like, I'm gonna choose me no matter what. Right. And I don't think she may, as you might be right, she may not have the capacity to show up as that type of friend, right? Because she hasn't went down that lane to figure out, hey, this is what I need to work on myself or whatever. But what I see right now is like, hey, I'm gonna monetize and do whatever I have to do to push me forward. And whatever it takes, I'll step on whoever I need to. And yeah, I can't rock with that.
And I think another thing from it for me, bro, is like, I don't know if y'all noticed, but like right after that came out, they dropped a new show with her and the best friend on it, saying new show coming soon. So it's like, back to Asia's point, how do you really sit and comment? How do you sit and comment on? Excuse me, how do you sit and let your friend make that comment in order to pour over into who, you know, another show? Like, come on, man. Go ahead, bro.
I think you're supposed to play off the scandal, though. If that's your job, entertainment, I think you play up the scandal, right? And as a to launch another platform, I think that's typical of most people. I do want to take a different approach to this conversation. If I may.
Okay, brother Louis B, go ahead.
I do agree with the friend thing, and to help your friend, but I'd also say you do not cast your pearls into the swine. You know, since we got King David on here, you know, we're gonna make a reference.
So I can give us verse and scripture. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, you know what I mean? You know, but I think
chapter and verse.
You also you gotta, I believe in helping her friend. I think the context of it probably is important because you didn't really get a lot of context. You just got the story, but you didn't hear the decisions that maybe led her to be in that position. Mm-hmm. And maybe the time she maybe helped her on her way up before, right? It's just in this moment, it was a choice, you know, to not help her. So I think, you know, context matters in those situations. I don't think it's just a blanket statement to say, hey, if I have my friend and they're struggling, I'm not going to help out. Like maybe they did, maybe they saw a string of bad decisions that they made. And like, hey, you know, instead of being an enabler, I'm going to give you emotional deposits, but I'm also going to give you some accountability with it as well.
But then how do you get upset? But then why do you get upset when I say, hey sis, I made it. I pulled myself up by the bootstraps, and then you say, okay, I'm mad.
I'm compartmentalizing that conversation there. The other stuff is inexcusable, right? I think it's a reflection of self, and I think BSimone is like, hey, I'm supposed to be the star. Like, and if you get here, you're supposed to get here off my back, right? Hence the new show.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna get into that. Sensei said we do not know her as a person other than golf what we see, but once you see how someone shows their true selves, do not act blind. I'm saying this, bro. Even if she's not all the things we think about, she's shown up as too many different things in order for us to trust her, even if it's not the thing that we're seeing right now. And I think the only thing about BSimone, and I haven't been a super big fan, but I think some of the spaces that I research, I see her a lot. So I kind of have been able to see her progression. She typically takes what I've seen. She kind of takes on the persona of the people around her. You know what I mean? And like when her and I don't want to, is it Megan Ashley?
Megan, for the podcast.
Yeah.
The last chick.
Yeah. Before this one. So like, even if you go back to Pretty V was doing her thing. They were doing it. They got to acting like the dynamic duo. You don't see them together. Like you see them together, but you don't see them together like that. Megan Ashley, the same exact vibe that she's going for, but like, because I do consider myself, you know, very spiritual, into God believer. I'm a Christian. Like you can't go and be all that you were saying on that. And then the second that end, you all this over here. And now you back to that now. Just even if she's not any of these things, Lewis, I'm not deeming her one thing, but she showed up in so many different indie spaces, bro. Which one we gonna trust?
I like her with the short booty shorts on and the jacket at church.
Here we go. Here we go. Nah, she can put sweatpants on. Any last thoughts on BSimone, y'all?
Let me add it in real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
I think showing environment most people, you don't really know who you are. Like, let me take it back. You know who you are, but you feel like you have to show up as those people to survive in those environments. Because you don't yourself is enough in every environment. And I think she's kind of dealing with that right, because you're right. We witness her in different environments, and we're just like, yo, who? Like, what would you? Who are you right now? I think she doesn't really know who the core be.
Because she spends too much time, like all of y'all have said, trying to fit in. If you really, I'm really truly a BSimone fan. Like if you listen to Jordan, her sister, kind of talk about their upbringing and her own struggles, she remains the same in everything situation that she does. And she even constantly pulls away from her sister from time and time again, like, yo, that's not with that. That's not who you are. So let me backpedal and live in my truth and what I'm facing. She doesn't change because she knows whatever her and her sister might have gone through or didn't go through growing up to become where they are. I think BSimone spends so much time trying to fit a narrative in a specific room instead of focusing on who she is. If you're going to be a comedian, be a comedian. If you're going to be an actress, be an actress. You can do both simultaneously, but be yourself when you do it. You don't have to do it like the next person in the same room as you, but also in a way that like, I have to be better. I think that's her mentality is I have to be better instead of I have to be this thing. Like get to the thing first before you try and be better. That's where you fail, because you're always trying to outdo somebody. You find yourself stealing stuff. You find yourself like going outside of your norm and trying to conform to other stuff. When if you were just yourself, you will be given the thing that you want, and then you can perfect that thing and gradually grow to where you need to be. I think that's her struggle. Sis needs to hire a better therapist. The therapist not working. Whichever one she
Brittany,
has.
you available?
I'm not available. I'm booked. Asia might be available.
Asia?
No, I have a prayer, and that's about it I got for her. That's it.
No, that's right.
I just hope they figure it out. Any more thoughts on BSimone? But we not wish you nothing bad, BSimone, nothing but the best. Just tighten up, man. Tighten up. All right. So earlier this week, man, Billboard dropped their top 100 artists of all time. So I got the top 10. We got some honorable mentions. I believe Chris Brown was at 45, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to start here with the top 10. Did they get 1 and 3 right? No disrespect to number 2.
Stevie's number 1.
Further explain.
Because Stevie he was a child prodigy too. People forget that, right? He was on Motown when the Jackson 5 was on Motown, and he wrote a lot of hits. Like he was writing hits for other people. Then in the 70s, he came with a whole nother sound sonically. In the 80s, when people look at the Grammys, he won more Grammys than Mike in the 80s. You know what I mean? In R&B. And he's got timeless music, timeless songs. I think when it comes to R&B, he is the blueprint. Stevie is the blueprint for R&B, and it spans for generations, like multiple generations. So I think they got number 1 right. Everybody pulls from him. Everyone on this list.
Steve L.
Okay, David, what's your thoughts, bro? What you looking at when you see the top 10? Do you see anybody that can move around, or you agree with the top 10?
I'm about like Lewis. Stevie. I can't argue that Stevie's number 1, but man, that MJ dog. I mean, hey man, ain't nobody had no Thriller album, bro.
There we go.
That Thriller album. That Thriller album, man, was. I mean, I was moonwalking before I could walk. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Mike, man, like you gotta think about Mike, man. Mike. Everybody loved Mike, man, from the 4 corners of the earth, dog.
Yeah.
You had, come on, man, the Pepsi commercials, the endorsements that Michael had, man, in the 80s. Like it was Michael, and it was it. Like there was no topping Mike, man. Like, so for me, I mean, I can't argue with that Stevie being number 1, but for me, man, it's MJ, dog. I don't see nobody topping MJ. That Thriller album is. Those were numbers, y'all, back in the 80s that we doing now with social media. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Michael left owning Sony, owning the Beatles catalogs and stuff like that, man. Like this guy he owned elevator music. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
It's hard, man. That Mike the best of me, man. He's the GOAT.
I think, but so first of all, Usher got 12. I don't know how he didn't crack the top 10. I said it. But
I agree.
He's if you can put
Beyonce on there.
Whoa,
Usher need to be up there too.
We not, hey man, Princess
for Marvin Gaye.
Hey, but I'm saying this. I think even though Stevie was probably the greatest, I think if you consider impact, Mike got him beat.
Yeah,
I think Mike's impact to outwardly, Lewis. Not his pen, not all I'm saying, like Mike's impact was bigger. Yeah. I'm gonna be real. Oh God. I think
you sing Stevie songs that you don't even know are his.
All right, name one.
Also never seen somebody faint at Stevie Wonder concert.
He didn't see it either.
How does he know?
He don't know.
You crazy. Hey,
with 6 feet.
So R. Kelly should have been higher, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. Aretha Franklin, I rock with her. I don't know enough. I'm cool with Beyonce. I think Mike's impact takes him to number one. See, the only thing I hate about these lists is so many ways you can divvy it up. But if you look at it like the eye test, bro, I don't think that's why I think Beyonce will never go in front of Mike because of impact. Now, but now, hers is right up there with him now. Her impact on the generation she got in front of is just almost equal to the impact. If Beyonce would have came before Mike, we would not have this discussion. Put it like that.
We're talking about Mike did this with no social media.
But are we talking about R&B though? This is R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Brittany, you can't talk about Beyonce. You don't.
Thriller wasn't an R&B album. Thriller was a pop album.
Ooh, no. Come on, baby, be mine, girl. Come on, man. All these hits, man. You got to be. That's how you want to be. Come on, you want to be starting something, Lewis. You want to be starting something, man. Come on, man. Baby, be mine. Come on, man. The girl is mine. Come on.
Paul McCartney, man. That's not an R&B song. Hey, Lady of My Life is the only R&B song I'll say this on that album.
Come on, man.
Come on, Asia, back me up. Come on, A.
Asia think R. Kelly number one.
First of all, don't disrespect me like that. You know what I'm saying?
I love R. Kelly.
He was good. We're supposed to be partners. This is a lot.
My bad.
This is a lot. Honestly, I don't know who I would move, but I really do feel like Usher should be in the top 10. Like I really strongly think that, especially for R&B.
Thank you.
I'm definitely okay with the number 1 and 2, only because I think that when we think about even with like Aretha Franklin, I think you can't have like a Mariah Carey without Aretha Franklin. Like you cannot have a Fantasia, a Jennifer, like you cannot have them, the female R&B singers, without an Aretha Franklin. So I do think that she should be where exactly where she is. I don't know who I would move, but Usher needs to be lifted.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Agreed.
And
what
some
about,
of the, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What about Aaliyah?
Girl,
Aaliyah does not seem to. Oh, she's number 40. Aaliyah hit number 40.
I need to boost her on up a little bit more than 40.
But I feel like Aaliyah's sound elevated her, not so much as her.
Her sound?
You talking
I
about
feel like the
90s,
sound, like
man.
you got R. Kelly behind you, them first few albums. Then you got like Timberland and Missy pushing you. I feel like that was more of the,
but her actual singing ability lifted her.
I don't think it's there.
R. Kelly.
I think everything you saying is what got it there, not the actual vocal ability.
Yeah. Can I ask a question that's gonna take us a little left, but I have to ask? And where's Mary J. Blige on this list? What number is she?
Number 16.
Come on, sister.
I know that.
What?
Number 16. She's at number 16.
I'm about to log off. I'm about to log off.
Who don't want to?
You don't think Mary deserves her?
It's me. You know, I'm the one. I'm the Mary J. Blige hater. Yes, I am.
All right. Can you justify this, please? Please justify this.
What's that?
Why do you feel like 16 is too high for Mary?
I just don't think the reason why I asked that when I did is because to y'all's argument about Aaliyah and her voice, I genuinely believe that Mary J. Blige is a storyteller only. I do not believe that she can sing. I really, truly, from the depths of my soul, I really don't think so. But I think she's a beautiful storyteller. And I think when she came out, I think the people that were supporting her around that time, I think that is what elevated her. I really do. And her boots.
Don't you know no love? Yeah.
Hey, I bet she would clean up this weekend. Stop playing, man.
Hey, I'll be blasting that I Can Love You, yo. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, boy, listen, man.
So,
I love you so bad.
Me too. I will say this too. I also think back to the point, like I think all those things matter. Cause like, okay, you got Janet Jackson at 17.
I forgot about her.
That's a bit aggressive.
Love Janet.
I do too, but 17 is a bit aggressive. Erykah Badu at 28, Rihanna at 46, Frank Ocean at 37, SZA at 44, The Weeknd at 47, John
Joe
Legend
on the list.
Yeah, I was gonna say what Joe and Donnell Jones in that man.
All right, we coming down the line. Neo at 60.
Number 99.
Tank at 67. Ooh, I don't even see it. Music Soul Child 63.
I read
Her at 70. They don't even have them in the honorable mention, so I'm not sure exactly where they have Joe. But you know what, though? I will say this about Joe, man. That first of all, Joe is great. Love him. Great music. Joe came out against the wrong guy at the wrong time.
R. Kelly.
Yeah, he came out at the wrong time against the wrong guy. Aside from all the things he's currently in prison for, it's some of those eras. Like I heard Nelly say this in the rap game. Like if you go up in our childhood, that era of who you were going against in order to be on top was so much more competition than it was everywhere else. For Joe to beat Maine's competition to be R. Kelly, he just was in the wrong era at the wrong time. I feel the same way about Raheem Devon, man. Like Raheem Devon is a great artist, but like wrong time, wrong place. Sorry, bro, and it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raheem had that song "You," didn't he? Want to call you or something like that?
Yes, yeah, Kyle.
I think.
Hey, anything else on the Billboard? On the Billboard top 100. I can't believe they did my boy. Man, Usher should be top 5, man. I gotta stop playing with him, man.
Kelly should be higher.
Say again?
Y'all don't think R. Kelly should be higher than?
I do. I do. He should be up there, man.
I feel like
He should be top 5.
Top 5, man. Top 5.
I feel like that's crazy to put him at 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. So it's that time, man. Let's get into these topics of the night. All right, so me and my dog gonna be holding it down tonight, man. We shooting straight from the hip. We gonna kind of switch it up and get into the relationship bag tonight, man. So, do you all believe that you can have a successful relationship without physical intimacy? I'm going to allow people to kind of communicate on what they define physical intimacy as. It's not only sex. Let's put that out there. But do you believe a relationship can exist without physical intimacy? We're gonna go to our guest first. King Dave, what's your thoughts, brother?
Well, I gave y'all that Denzel look, boy.
That's a no. Hey, look, player, you ain't alone.
Well, God made the woman for the man, right? He made the woman for the man.
To do what, bro?
Man, you know what I'm saying? Before woman got here, man was just walking around here stiff, looking crazy. And then the woman came. He went to sleep, and that woman came, boy. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, man, no. Love me. Because I'm going to love you back. Me and my wife, boy, listen here.
Let me tell you.
Let me stop. But yes, man needs woman. Yes,
For
we
sure.
do. Yes, we do.
Jay, what's your thoughts, bro?
Oh boy. I think that's a good friendship. If you want to be friends with somebody, that's physical. No, I can't do.
We can't hear you.
Is Jay cussing?
We can't hear it. Your mic's going in and out.
Y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I said that me personally, I can't like not be physical with a person. Like if I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's a good friendship.
Hey, he's talking about intimacy, not DV. Intimacy.
Hey, come on.
Y'all crazy, man.
Oh man. So Asia, what's your thoughts from the ladies' perspective?
I don't think that it can, only because I really believe that if it is not, even in friendships, because I started when you made that joke, I started thinking though, because even with my friends, I'm like I'll hug my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like something that, and I don't hug everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I still think that there's different degrees of physical intimacy depending on the depth of the relationship, right? And so I feel like if you are in a romantic relationship, right, or someone that is your partner, yeah, like, duh. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question, Asia? So
Yes.
not on no funny. I'm asking an honest question. When you just said, like, even when you think of friendships, you hug your friend. Would you consider that intimacy though? Because isn't there a difference there? If you when you're hugging a friend versus hugging someone that you want a level of physical intimacy with, does that question make sense?
It definitely makes sense. And I think that's why I said I think intimacy is different. Like, it looks different depending on the depth of the relationship. So I do think that within a friendship, right, I do think that there is there is an intimacy that goes on there, right? Like, I'm not like, I don't, let's say, for example, like, even I'll use it like this. So let's say in kissing a friend on the cheek, right? Some people really do have a real deal issue with that because it is a form of intimacy to some people, right? However, in other cultures, even, it's like, no, like, especially being in Miami, it's like, no, you see a person, kiss them on the cheek, keep pushing. It's not that deep. But for other people, it's like, don't touch me, right? And I think it's because there is a level of intimacy there. But as far as the romantic relationship, like, come on.
Yes.
Lewis, man, what you thinking, bro?
No, I agree, man. I think,
Look, go ahead.
I gotta be able to express my love in many different ways.
Yes, Lord.
Nasty in his mom.
Yeah, man, I gotta,
Hey, look,
I gotta extend it however I can extend it.
Here you go. Somebody get Lewis, man.
That's it. No, man, I'm just saying, that's it.
I would say this. I'm gonna go against the grain just a tad bit. I do believe it can survive if you never started a certain level of intimacy. That's like, you can't start bumping and grinding and then all of a sudden find yourself, and I don't want to do this no more, but we together and I done committed to you, and now you don't pull back, and we didn't start that way. I think if you start with a boundary and you don't cross it, and you all are cool with that boundary, I think it can survive. I think these things get sticky when it was in the relationship and then is now out of the relationship. If we may be in different places for whatever reason, I ain't getting into that. I think the way you start things can matter, and it can extend it. Now, I personally don't understand. It's like this, Earth 99. You go on a date and you have fun with someone. Y'all have fun. Y'all do what adults do. And then y'all come back 2 weeks later like, hey, yeah, I'm not that person anymore. I want to take it slow. Realistically, I think when you start a certain way, it's hard to scale it back. Not saying that people don't have the right to scale it back. I'm saying once you do, I think that's where it threatens the relationship because we did not start that way. I do believe that. I think droughts happen in relationships and marriage. I think depending upon the person, how long the drought can be matters to them. You can never, judge that. But yeah, I think it can if you start that way. Brittany, what's your thoughts?
So I'm gonna bring the Bible out on y'all since we are referencing biblical stuff.
Okay.
We're not supposed to be doing it anyway.
Come on,
before we
sister.
get married. Okay.
Come on, sister.
So can it survive?
Among us.
Absolutely can survive because we're supposed to be doing it that way.
That's right.
As for me and my
get married after a week.
Right. So to answer the question, can it survive? Yes, I think it takes two very mature people to have a very mature conversation about what that looks like for them on their journey, as long as they're both willing to do that and be emotionally intimate with each other and find other means to take place. Because I like that you ask, Keenan, like defining what physical intimacy looks like, because I do think that you can be affectionate with people. That doesn't take out the affection from all other things, right? Outside of being physically intimate. Personally, no. I'm a test driver. Got to drive the car first.
Boy, if that was a
but
paper, we're gonna get you on two different subjects. You started one way, and your conclusion was a whole nother.
But I was answering
right
the
to fornication. She drove that car right to fornication.
She did a whole U-turn.
Listen, the Lord knows my heart. I have repented, and I am now married.
You gotta be about to throw holy water on my computer, man. About to take out my whole setup, dog. Come on, man.
I answered the question. I answered the question first, then I gave my personal opinion.
So funny.
But I'm sorry, you go ahead and finish saying how you a test driver.
No, that's you know what, Keenan.
Hey, Britt. I'm gonna just say you pulled up the Lust Boulevard, and we appreciate it. But I'm gonna tell you this now. I think that is possible if you're not physically attracted to that person.
That's not a relationship.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
So you have to be intimate with somebody that you're physically attracted to?
I think if you're physically attracted, it's gonna happen naturally. I think you have to look at that person as like, oh, they're a great person. They have great attributes. They bring a lot to the table. They're an awesome friend. But if you don't look at them sexually, I think it can be sustainable. But I think if you do, you're gonna be battling some stuff. You know,
that's real.
That laying in the bed and we chilling like, hey, friend, chill. You know, and you know what I'm saying? That scoop back get real. You like, hey,
scoop back. Scoop back is insane.
Better stop playing now.
You know, something that's coming up for me as I'm rethinking this question. I think that there are times that it can be possible, right? For a relationship prior to marriage to survive without physical intimacy, only if, I think there's two things that would have to happen. I think only if there is a clear plan for marriage to happen, or for it to get to that place of like, at some point it will happen, the physical intimacy. And I think second, all the other types of intimacies, they have to happen. They absolutely have to happen, because if they don't, if you're a cornball and we don't agree on a lot of stuff and we're not having fun together and I don't feel safe with you emotionally and I can't talk about, you know, the things that's bothering me or my past hurts or whatever the case may be, and on top of that, physical intimacy is not there, please.
So do y'all think we were raised, well, grouping millennials for a second, but asking y'all, were y'all even raised on how to value or how to protect physical intimacy though? Like, I think I figured it out later when you realize how intimate it actually is versus what it was presented as when I was young. I'm just being real. Like, so when you're young, it is physical intimacy, but you're not viewing it that way. You know what I'm saying? And then like, as you get older, you realize the outside of like, you know, all the pleasurable things, we're adults here, but I'm saying like, you realize what the act really actually means as far as like on different levels. So what's y'all thoughts on, well, how did y'all view it prior to you finding somebody you love and actually wanted to take it to that next level with? Was it presented to you as something that you need to protect? No ifs, ands, or buts, or was it something like that you had to grow into as you grew up and as you met somebody that it was worth protecting with?
That's a good question.
I'll get started. Because this is an easy one for me. I grew up in church. That's all I've ever known. My mama taught true love waits. If you know, you know. And it really was, you wait until you're married or you're going to hell. That was the conversation. That was the end of it. And so it was one of those, okay. And I guess because I grew up in that environment, everybody felt the same way about it. Now, of course, it wasn't always like that, but I think it was, so that was my thought around it. I actually didn't know much about it, to be quite honest. I didn't know about the intimacy part of it, the different levels of it and all that kind of stuff, because in my mind it was, I don't even need to think about that because that's something that is reserved for only, for a certain group of people. And I'm really not trying to go to hell. So I didn't ask questions, right? It was like the adults are saying it. That's how it is. So growing up, that's what it was. It wasn't until, to be quite honest, until I got to college that I think starting to be like more curious around like, okay, wait, because I got my friends from, high school and they're having babies. So they're obviously you know, doing the do. But then, so that for me, starting high school, going into college, it was a little bit different for me. But yeah.
Respect. What about you, King David? What's your thoughts, bro?
Ooh. Well, it starts. I mean, for me, man, you know, at a young age, you know, because I love being around females at a young age. They made me feel like I was Superman. So I was just, you know, anything to get a laugh. You know what I mean? So, and you know, laughs turns into intimacy. It does. Yeah. But
fellas, I hope y'all caught that.
You know what I'm saying? It might have went over the head a little bit, but you know, I mean, it's nature, man. It's bound to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether you know, like my sister just said, you know, to hear those restrictions like that coming from good parents, you know what I'm saying? It's a taught thing. So if you taught the right thing, you lead the child right, the child gonna go right. But if you ain't been told, you gonna go out here like a dog pissing on everything, boy. You know, you gonna go out here on everything. Yeah. So it's got to be taught. You know what I mean? And yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a changed man now. I've repented from my sins, and I am not the same guy. But
yeah,
boy. Man, that's all I'm gonna say about that there.
Yeah, that red dot got to get up off there before I start talking about.
Yeah, Doc. Did that answer?
It did. It did.
Okay.
It did. Jay. No, I'm sorry, Jay. I just go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What was you saying?
I was gonna go to another lady because I was just bouncing off. Because King David. Go ahead, Brittany.
I mean, I second everything Asia said. I too was brought up in the same type of household, so I feel like for me it was more so, do not bring shame to this family. You open your legs, that's shame to this family. So you get out there, you do that, you have to not only deal with everything else, but you got to deal with us. So I was very protective, I guess, because I was more concerned. I was intrigued, but I was more concerned about, like, if I really go out here and do this and then something happens, God forbid, or my parents, because again, growing up in a Christian household, the Lord tells them everything when they're sleeping.
Yeah, they know it.
Shame to this family, like it just wasn't worth it for me. So I had to figure some things out on my own. But as I got older, I was always picky and choosy about how physical intimacy entered into my life because of that, my upbringing.
Yeah. That upbringing is strong. See, it's got to be told. You know what I mean? You was told. That's why y'all didn't, you know, the curiosity didn't lean too far because you was told. Fear is something, but hey man, fear the Lord is something.
Yeah.
When you scared about that, hey, listen here, man.
That's very.
You don't play around.
It seems scarier, and ladies, don't let me speak for you. It seems scarier for women than it does guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm gonna be very honest, and I'm not being funny. My grandmother, pastor, I wouldn't consider myself a PK, but I was close enough to it because it was my mom's mom. It ain't work, bro. I see how hot that was, man. You know what I'm saying?
You was a young man. You was a young
lad. I'm telling you, and it's funny because I'm literally like that about most things. Like, hey, man, don't go jump off that cliff. I may not go jump, but I'm gonna go. All right, no, I ain't got to jump off of it. But I said that to say I think it's very different experiencing that from a guy than it is from a young lady. Like when y'all get that, like, because hey, look, Brittany, I'm not. You said it, but I'm saying from that example, I think the shame comes in. Like if you had to, like if we did that, we wouldn't have to literally physically. Our family wouldn't physically see us go through what we did. So like if you were younger and you got that and that happened. You were the person that's carrying that amongst your family, even if the guy is equally responsible. We don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? We don't see that. We're not walking with our family. Even if we did it and they're talking about it, you don't have to go to dinners and holidays and all that stuff in a certain way. You know what I mean? So I do think the upbringing is important, but it worked the opposite way for me.
I mean, and to not to cut you off, Keenan, but like that's a great example because think about how we may raise our own. Lewis, I can look at you that has a boy and a girl. right? Like, I don't know what your dynamic looks like with your wife in conversations, but it's kind of like, at least for me in my house, it's like, okay, if my son came home with a situation, it's more like, you kind of whatever, but there's a little leniency versus if my daughter came home and man, listen, we pack that, right? Like, I have to now figure out how to be supportive, but it's a different conversation than if the male does it. So I agree, Keenan. I do think male and female gives a different experience.
Yeah.
I'll say something real quick.
Now go ahead.
That makes me so sad though, right? Because it's like, I feel like a part of the reason why that is because stereotypically and historically, it's okay, if that happens, okay, well, now you're a single mom and the dad's just not going to be there. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like for me, it's so, or then it becomes, okay, the reputation of the girl is very different than the reputation of the guy. And that part makes me so sad because it's like, it should be like like both of y'all. Don't cut up is a shared responsibility, you know what I'm saying? But I think just the way that it has been historically, and just within the culture, well, especially back then when we were younger, it's like, that's where I think the weight comes from, because it's like okay, well, now don't count on him.
Yeah. Jay, Lewis.
I think for me, my experience was a little bit different. Obviously, I got into a relationship very early, you know what I'm saying, at 14. So it was a committed relationship, serious relationship, lasted throughout high school, got married at 21, had children. So for me, the intimacy was there. Obviously, we had 2 children. But if I wanted to be real, though, I think that as I progressed throughout my life and I matured, I realized that when you go through those droughts in those seasons, that it's an underlying issue there. It could be finances. It could be your partner not being heard. It could be a lot of different things. So it makes you look at it differently versus just saying like, oh, dang, like I ain't attracted to this person no more. It's like, it's a lot of different things that can play into that.
That's real.
So I think once I realized that, it changed the game for me.
And then becoming a parent of your own. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you become a parent of your own, and then, man, listen, boy, I got a daughter too, boy.
Brittany was right, though. I got 2 daughters. And you're right. Definitely parent them very differently because I look at it like,
yes, sir.
Hey, come on, man. Tighten up.
When it's that boy, you like, it chip off the old top. But when it's that daughter, boy, you better sit down somewhere, baby. Sit down.
What's your split, if you don't mind me asking?
Excuse me?
Do you have what's your split of children? Do you have all sons?
I have 2 daughters. I'm sorry, 2 kids. I got a daughter that's 12 and a son that's he turns 5 on Thursday.
Okay, happy early birthday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a split dynamic too.
Yeah, man. That's a 7-year gap, but we kind of waited a little bit too long. I don't know. I don't know what we were thinking.
Yeah.
But
man, if we were thinking, we wouldn't have thought that. We would have thought about it a little bit more sooner.
Yeah, for sure.
But man. That having a daughter has changed my life, man. Like, changed my whole total perspective on things. That's why, like, girls. I mean, like, your boys, they look at you and they pick up what Pop do. You know what I'm saying? But man, so does that girl too. You know what I'm saying? And me myself, I have to even be careful how I talk to my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even want no thinking that she can have a man yelling and hollering, screaming. You know what I'm saying? At her. So it is very different in all aspects when you dealing with a girl and a boy versus. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I love my babies, boy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Salute.
No, he have his daughter, and some skits with him. She's just as talented as him, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, boy.
Of course, man. Of course, it's true. For me, man, I had to learn the impact of that experience. Honestly, I was afraid until I wasn't, but I was afraid, because I'm a product of a teenage pregnancy, and that was like at the forefront of my mind. I only looked at it as not just a means of pleasure, but the potential outcome of it. So I was afraid. So I was very particular about, most cases, I was very particular about who I engage with out of fear of that.
Hey, well, why you gotta add verbiage like that, Lewis?
Lewis is crazy.
Tell us most cases.
We all make a mistake or two.
So it was sometimes you weren't so particular, is what you said, my brother.
You know what? I'm being honest, vulnerable. I'd had an interaction and I thought about, like, if you were to go do that again, is that somebody you would want to be the mother of your child that you would want to deal with for the rest of your life? And I'm like, hell no. So that was for real, man. Because when you think about your kid, you think about how you want them to look. You know what I'm saying? And the environment that they grow up in and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. And I immediately shifted my perspective on how I viewed it. But it wasn't until later on that I understand the impact of the soul ties and the different, weight that carried. But, I got married young. I found my wife young. So fortunately, I didn't have to go through that but so long. But I'm even learning things now.
Yeah.
Just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Same here, bro.
So
the day you stop, the marriage over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that ain't grown is dead.
Sure enough. You ain't lying. So Asia, I'm gonna throw it over to you. I know you got us next.
Okay. All right, y'all. So keeping it on with relationships, are situationships ruining our ability to love for real? What y'all think?
I know. I'm gonna just start and say this. This is where we go wrong, my fellow millennials. I think situationships without communicated expectations of that's what that is. I think when people get in situationships without saying this is what we doing, if feelings get involved, have a second conversation. But people be trying to, like, I say this all the time. Forgive me. If he treats her like his girlfriend and she doesn't know that she's not his girlfriend, that's where stuff gets sticky. And then he asks like, hey, what you doing? Like, nah, And I'm like, she doesn't know that y'all weren't actively dating to be in a relationship. She didn't know she was in a situationship. Now, if you put it up front, say, hey, this is where I'm at. This is how I view things. This is where I want to go. And then feelings get involved. That's different. But I think when you're not upfront with the situationship, it hinders the ability to actually get into something because I was never telling you my intent anyway. So we don't know how to maneuver once things go left, right, or whatever the case may be. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, I appreciate those 2 cents. Anybody else? Britt, go ahead, take this one next, sis.
Okay, so situationships are stupid. And I say that because I just don't think that it equates to the ability to love. Why? Because you're in a situationship. And I mean that because you have every intent not to be in something more than just your situation. I feel like if you're two adults that know what you're doing or know what you want, those conversations have to have happened at some point. And even if they don't, like at some point, you gotta have like, okay, well, so what are we really doing? You're not about to be in a long-term thing for a very long time and not know, right? So do I think they're ruining the ability to love? I just don't think that they're a real thing to equate to love, to get to that point to even love in the first place. I think it's just situationships legit can be friends with benefits, if that's what you want to call it for our millennial terms back in the day. Like that's almost what it is nowadays. I think that some people, Keenan, to your point, some people take it when you don't communicate boundaries and you don't communicate all these things that you want to do or you want to see or whatever, it leaves it open to be whatever it is. Right now, if one person falls in love with another person, then that's when it does get a little sticky. But again, it goes back to communication. I think at that point, that person may be like, hey, I'm catching feelings, or they may change how they're doing things. And then there's levels to everything. So that situationship then upgrades to another level and we're looking at something totally different. But I just don't think that two people could have something without with the intent to get to the love or to the relationship of anything. I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah, Jay, what do you think?
I think that situationships are in place as like a get out of jail free card. They're put here because you have two people that don't want titles, don't want to commit, but they want to use the other person as a placeholder. So that way, if things don't work out over here, I know this person is good for me. How many times have y'all heard somebody say that? I know this person is good for me. I know this person is, so you're afraid to commit because you know you don't have the capacity to fully show up for that person.
Yeah.
The relationship is like if anything happens, you catch me talking to another girl, whatever. Oh, we're not together. Like it's like a get out of jail free card. And a lot of people are using it because they don't want to have the responsibility of working on themselves and working with a person or a partner to actually move towards a goal.
Man, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good, Jay.
Thank you, man.
That was great.
Okay.
That was great. Situation.
Oh, did he just go like this?
No, he went like this.
Oh man!
Don't do my boy like that. Don't do my boy.
Hey, come on. Kid, you can be real. Did you see the same thing, bro?
Well, I snapped my. Hey, come on, man, cut it out.
He snapped.
Hey, clip that, man. Get him up out of here.
I cannot.
Jay is about to end up with a situationship tonight doing that mess.
No, the hell I wouldn't.
King David, what's your thoughts on this one?
Oh, situation stuff. Just like, piggybacking off what y'all saying, man. It ain't even the right thing to be doing. It's the wrong thing. You know what I mean? So how can you expect anything good from it? You know what I mean? It ain't nowhere in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So, well, actually it is, and it's called a thing. It's called whoremongering. You know what I'm saying? That's what we be out there doing.
Yeah.
We out there just whoremongering and knowing the things, and then people wonder why sometimes things in life it ain't going like it's supposed to be going. You know what I'm saying? Because, when you do certain things, hey man, life like a boomerang, which you throw out there will come back to you. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not, you can't get, there's no benefit, there's nothing from that. You can't get nothing. It's dead. Even with communication. Even if you set the tone and look, baby, look, this is what we're gonna do. All right, this is how we're gonna do it, and this is what we're gonna do. Even still, emotions is going to get in there. It's gonna climb in there, whether it's with you or with her. You're gonna be thinking about it. She gonna be thinking about it too. You know what I'm saying? You lusting then. So, you know what I mean? It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
It ain't the right way.
Right.
Lou, what you think?
I agree with what everyone said. I don't really have any much to expound on. I really like what Jay said, though. Shout out to Jay, man. That was eloquent.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm just gonna throw a wrench in all of this, right?
Get them.
Because the truth is, I agree with what everybody is saying, but I do think that for some people, I think that people are able to love within the context of a situationship, right? I don't think that's what's being threatened. I think it's commitment and longevity. I think that's what's being threatened in that, because in a situationship, you have a person, an identified person that you are loyal to in that aspect, right? With the confines of that, you are committing yourself to them. There is some level of dialogue. There is some level of trust. There is some level of communication that is there. I do think in that you are able to have some level of love for that person. What I think happens though, because even when you have the communication, what people don't do is then you have to reinforce what has been communicated, right? But then what happens is this: I think that, let's say somebody else comes along that is not within the situationship, one or two or both people will say, dang, but I got to give up so-and-so.
Yeah.
Dang, so I got to choose you or them. But they have been building time and effort. And if what they're doing is good,
yeah,
and then they have to start from the ground up with somebody else,
yeah,
there's a level of love and attachment that they have to the person that they're in a situationship. They just don't want to call it what it is. because then that comes with a certain level of responsibility. So I think it's situationships are ruining longevity and relationships and responsibility and accountability. That's what I think situationships are ruining.
Facts.
And I think sometimes in those situations, Asia, there's something that one person may be holding on to that they're not being honest about, but so I'm not afraid of this responsibility with someone else. Even if I like them more, there may just be something that I know or something we interacted on before that I can't get with, but I do like everything else. Does that make sense? Because I believe there could be somebody that's not accountable, not responsible over here, and in a parallel situationship be all those things. So I do also think it's paired based off the two people interacting. Now, do I agree with any of it? No, because I think it's just confusing. I'm gonna be honest. I said this on Last Name Loyalty a couple weeks ago. That just seemed like a headache to me. If I'm being real, like it's just too much. Like if she's in my situation, like if she's Earth 99, if she's any type of person worth pursuing, you're not gonna have that much time to even be doing all that other stuff. Yeah. And I ain't trying to be hiding, and I can't text or do stuff like that. And if you're truly interested in someone, it takes up your time and your capacity at the beginning when you're thinking about them. Like, it's always most intriguing then. So yes, Asia, to your point, I just wanted to say that some people bring out other things instantly, and it may not be about all those other things.
And it definitely ruins the ability to I just think that it definitely ruins the ability to love, because we got to think about it too this way. Like,
love that thing,
people are not going to do what you don't allow. So if you're complacent in your situationship, and you continuously allow this person to put you in this place or to treat you in this space or whatever, right? And the end goal, let's say, isn't love for neither one of you. But to your point, Asia, like through the longevity, through time and all those other things, like you learn to love this person, the situationship itself has ruined that person's ability to then love you, because you allowed yourself to be in this space as this whatever for so long that it's like, no, to Keenan's point, I'm not about to elevate you to here, because there might be one little thing that I don't like that you do that I can't learn to love that part of you. But you were okay with all the other things and me giving you all those other things. So I'm gonna just leave you here in this situationship. So I do, it might not ruin it completely, but I do think it shakes the ground a little bit in the full 100% picture of actually loving you for who you are.
Yeah, and I got a much simpler version. Ladies, don't give it up too soon. All right, so I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth.
Wait, can I make an addendum to that? And men don't do all this stuff that you're not going to be consistent with. Like, don't sell a dream either.
Oh,
I don't think that warning should be one-sided, because men are doing that every day, and they get upset.
It's a 2-lane highway, baby. Tell them it's a 2-lane highway.
And then get upset when women fall in love with a dream.
But you wouldn't see. This goes back to I'm looking at this time, and Asia, you said something crazy.
Okay, I know. I'm sorry. Bad, bro.
So I got a question. When you interview for a job, do you not do your Sunday's best?
So tell a dream like what you said.
Okay. Answer my question.
Right.
When you interview for a job, are you bringing everything you got?
I sell a dream. I sell all I got. All I got. Do
I
perform the same way once I get the job?
All the time?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm lost in these metaphors, y'all.
What
time did you clock in?
What happened to the time when he jumped over?
It was 3 minutes between clock in and clock out.
You used to clock in at 9. Now you're coming in late. I
was just saying, like, I get what Asia's saying, but like in that scenario, you would try to perform the best way you see fit, because that's typically, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all know
what up, everybody? Appreciate everybody tapping in tonight.
Y'all are married. It's very different out here, because men out here are talking about marriage and the whole thing, and they are really out here selling dreams.
You know what it is, Asia?
Tell her, Jay. Go ahead.
Millennials, man, we got a group of people. Both sides are just scared. So using a situationship protects both sides. like I've either been in a long-term committed relationship and got hurt, or I've been on the other end and been the one hurting people. Now it's like I don't know if that karma is gonna come back to me.
That's a good point.
Like, this is the safe thing to do. Let's just make it a situationship, because I don't want to be the one hurt either. Nobody wants to be hurt.
Yeah.
Jay, you were speaking tonight, bro.
That's what I'm saying, man. What my boy? What you? That boy done drunk some truth serum or something tonight. What's going on?
Hey man, hey look, he even doing the clock that side too, man. Your boy showing out, man.
Fuck your ass if you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, DJ Marcus Sam said people don't know how to act anyway, so in a position with no expectations is bound to fail. Lucid Love Society said peace to the panel and chat. Appreciate you tapping in tonight, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all follow King David at IM.KingDavid on all platforms. Salute him. Tap in with us tonight. All right, so man, we got one scenario, and then we're gonna get into this fair foul. Let's get into the scenario. All right, so tonight's scenario, we have a friend. She invited her friend on a double date, hoping for a fun night out. Instead, she got hit with unexpected judgment. Her friend declined, saying she couldn't be around someone who has been on 4 dates in 3 months, claiming it didn't reflect well on her marriage. The friend who asked was caught off guard. She defended her choices and called out the shade. Later, the married friend shared the combo online, literally, sparking a debate about friendship, judgment, and the birds of a feather flock together. So, because I had to take some names out and this was set, I'm not gonna read it again. I'm gonna give context. You have a friend that you've been friends with that's asking you and your spouse on double dates, but it's a different person. In the last 4 months, it's been a different person in each of the 4 dates. The married friend now says like, hey, I can't keep going on these double dates with you because it's a bad reflection on my marriage. Do you all think if you had a single friend who was actively asking a married couple to go on a date, is that a bad reflection on the married friend? Does that make sense?
Yep, I agree with that.
Further explain, Lewis. Say your point a little further, brother.
I think you have to protect your marriage. Like, that's the one thing that I learned earlier. I have to protect my marriage, and we can't associate with everyone as often. And when you have a rotation of people, that means you aren't stable, right? You could be in the vetting process and you could be going and working through it, but if I'm introducing you into my dynamic of my wife and I have to make sure that I'm surrounding, or we are only allowing a certain atmosphere in certain environments. And I think we can't allow people to impose on that. And I do agree with protecting that. I don't think we should judge anybody, but I do think you should have to protect that. You should protect that, because when you go on double dates, it's fun, but it's also exposure and talking about relationships. And I feel like if I were to be in that situation with my wife, we couldn't fully enjoy ourselves after this second or third person, because, we feel like we're now reestablishing and establishing relationships. We don't know how much we can share or how much we can be ourselves around a stranger.
So Lewis, can I ask a question to your response? Great response. I agree. Would you feel a way if it's your wife's friend, right? If she didn't go on dates but spent a lot of time with this person? I shouldn't say feel a way. Would you be opposed to that?
Out of all 4 people?
No, she's spending a lot of time with the friend. She's not even going on the dates with her. That's just what she spends a lot of her.
It's just having a single friend. So I mean, I would. There would be some apprehension. I was gonna lie, but no, I would be apprehensive about it. Yeah, I would be apprehensive about it, because I mean, listen, you walk with one man walks with wise men, you become wise. You walk with unwise people. I think as a married person, I'm not even gonna speak for women. As a man, I can only be around single men, but so much. That's just the reality of it, right? Because again, I gotta protect me and my marriage, and we're not like-minded in that sense. And typically, men, y'all know how we are, especially when we single. A lot of us are on the prowl, and we going out. Half the conversation for that single man may be about the environment and the women, and that's not where my focus should be. My focus can't be around that. Not speaking for women, but In my experience, it's best to keep yourself around like-minded people.
I echo that, my brother.
For sure.
I echo that. That's real. That's because then you'll start acting like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what?
You'll start want to be single-minded and all of that. And nah, that ain't the because if you bring that company, you'll be wanting to do the same thing. Married couples are supposed to be with married couples. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be the kind of dates that goes on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't supposed to be hooking up with my single friend and he's got an unstable you know what I'm saying, relationships. And yeah, that's not
so
it's risk. What we got is different. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of risk associated with the marriage, right?
Yeah,
you dating, there's not as much risk there.
Hey, so before we go to the next, so Marcus says that she's weird for that. So much ego to think the choices of others reflect on you. How can a person's one-time appearance affect the other couple's marriage? Last but not least, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
You wish.
I was going to say this, man. I'm going to say this. I'm sorry. Matter of fact, Jay, brother, you've been on fire tonight, and you keep going last. So I want you to go. You go ahead and go, bro. Then I'm going to throw it to somebody else after you, brother. You just go ahead, man.
I think that whatever Lewis said, great points. And King David, you made some great points.
Thank you, my brother.
Dealing with dealing with like a married couple and dealing with like a single couple, she's bouncing around. You know, obviously she's in the vetting process doing that. A lot of things can happen. Number one, let's say you as a person, you and the guy, y'all build a good rapport and y'all start getting close. She's rotating different people. Now it's gonna make it awkward because now you actually like, you know what, this dude pretty cool. So that's a issue right there. And I also think that when you're hanging around people that are not like-minded, like you said, Lewis, no matter what, you're going to start to take on their characteristics, subconsciously or consciously. It doesn't matter. You may not, but you may get around, and now that single life to your homegirl may look fun to you. So now you're starting to do certain things like, hey, maybe we should go out more. So now you're bringing that back to your marriage and kind of messing your dynamic up. And it's getting to a point where it's like, okay, now we causing turmoil over here because this said person is looking fun over here for her. So I think that like-minded people should be around each other. If you do have your single friends, limit it.
Agree.
Brittany came up off mute. Go ahead now.
Okay. I don't agree with anything that y'all have said.
Oh, man.
Well, thank you.
And I am a married woman. I am a very married woman. And I have a lot of single friends. Majority of my circle is single. I don't think, so let me say this. I do think that you should have the judgment thing is terrible. It's wrong. I don't agree with it. I do think you should have a conversation with your friend and tell her what you feel, right? Like, sis, maybe slow it down, switch it up, whatever that looks like for you. You need to figure out life and stop bouncing around, whatever that looks like. But I'm having a real heart to heart. Do I think going on these double dates impose on your marriage? No. Why? Because I feel like this. If it's kind of like being I don't want to use that example because y'all might eat me up with that. But
nah. You done jumped out there. Go ahead.
It's I try and correlate it a little bit with being like a wingman, right? Like in school when you went to the bar or whatever, and you were just like a wingman. You were there, kind of whatever. You don't necessarily have to interact and engage in everything that's happening, that's taking place. I just feel like if your marriage is solid, right? I personally think 4 dates in 3 months is a lot, is excessive, but I'm not going to judge my friend for it. Again, I'll have a conversation with her, but I still feel like there's a reason why she's asking me to go. Maybe she's lost in the sauce about something. Maybe it's security reasons. Maybe it's, I don't know, whatever it is that she's asking me to go with her. There's a level of comfort that she's also asking me to bring my spouse. I don't think that affects our relationship in any way. I do think that it's sucky to have to try and sit with a couple. Sometimes you just don't want to do that. But like, I don't think that limiting single friends. I don't like to put them in a bubble because I feel like married people should be strong. You don't have self-control if you can't go with your single friends and do certain things. You got to know your own limit. You have to know your own, like your own levels of respect. Like I shouldn't do that because, and so I say that I don't want to categorize it to men and women, but I do find in my experience, my Brittany's experience, that most men that I've encountered have a more difficult time being in a single man space because it's easier to kind of navigate that versus a woman who can kind of a married woman going in a single woman's space, pulling away from some of those things. And that, I don't know. I just have a difference of opinion, and maybe I'm pushing my own experiences out on this because I have nothing, like I said, but single friends except for a few. So I just kind of feel like in those spaces, you just have to know what those levels of respect kind of look like for you in your relationship. And it's okay to encourage your friend to do all the things, but then also later come back and have a conversation about like, sis, okay, do you see a pattern? I done been on 4 dates with you. Do you see what type of person you're sitting down with, talking to, connecting to? This is really not the person for you. Or this
too grown, but Brittany, we too grown for that right there.
But as a Kenan, you say that, but like as a friend, I'm trying to think of like some of my best friends are single. I don't think I'm ever too grown to tell them my opinion about what they're doing.
So Brittany,
go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
So Brittany, real quick, I get what you were. Where's the respect that from your single friend for your marriage?
But that's what I'm saying. Your single friend has to have it. The single friend not once disrespected my marriage and any type of.
She's looking at a model of consistency with you, and I've been on 4 dates with 4 people.
She's what? Say that again.
I said she's looking at a consistent model of you and your husband.
Right.
Y'all have been on 4 dates with 4 different people.
Mm-hmm.
Go on 4 dates with 4 people. Stop including us. Be consistent, and then we'll keep double dating.
I get that, and I get that, but I just feel like as a friend, Jay, like it is. I agree. As a friend, though, sitting on the other end of that table, it is then my job as a good friend to this person to then check that situation and let her know what I'm observing, right? Because some people just genuinely don't feel like they're going on. They can't pick it up, or they look up to me and my husband's marriage so much to kind of learn from these things, right? And they may need Mike to pick up on male stuff about certain things. Whatever it is, I just kind of feel like it might be a learning curve. And this is why I said it's important for me as a friend to have conversations after we go on these dates about, okay, let's run through this. What did you gain from this? Why are we keep going down this line? So
Asia, I promise you, I'm getting to you. I know I'm getting to you. Okay. I got you, partner. Wakanda forever. I got you. Look, so I'm Brittany, this is what I'm saying. I'm gonna be quick because I gotta get in my sis Asia. It's not the conversation you're having about the points. We are too grown for you to need me at the other end of the table to make a judgment call at my age of 34 years old. 4 times in 3 months, we gotta evaluate more than just it's not about the dates more. So first of all, let me say this about the scenario. The issue is not the 4th date. The issue is when you got to date 2 and 3 within that time frame and didn't stop it before she felt comfortable to keep asking you to go on more and more and more. So you already set the precedence that you're going to go on multiple. Cool, right? You go on one, it happens. Now, I will be honest. Me and my wife have been on dates with my homeboy, and it's like, hey, we had to talk. Like, hey, look, bro, we just cooling tonight. All right, bet. My wife has a certain interaction that she's willing to have and a certain interaction she's not. If it's like, hey, bro, I think she the one. Those times in between have almost been 13 to 14 months. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not about judging the friend. I am a advocate for accountability. You can't. Why do you need me at your big age to be across the table to tell you about a guy that you picked? You can talk about it. All I'm saying is across the table. All the conversations behind the scenes are legit. That's your friend. That's not what I'm talking about. Why do I got to be at the table? We can have the conversations back and forth before, like, I don't know. Okay, cool. but you asking me to come on the table. And the second part is, I said this on Last Name Loyalty. Asia, I promise I'm coming next. If somebody your age has to be the representation of a positive male figure, red flag. Red flag.
What do you think, Asia? I'm gonna get to you since he not. What do you think, Asia?
Go ahead. You clocking that too, Jay?
Clock your ass.
All right, Asia, I'm interested to hear your opinion on this.
My heart is honestly aching right now.
Oh man, why you feel that way?
I didn't actually expect to get emotional.
Oh
yeah.
Okay,
wow, this is actually crazy.
It's all right. Come on. You good? Take your time.
So
Take your time.
This is actually weird, but like I am the single friend, and all of my friends are married. All of them. Right. And so to hear the thing that's actually, I think, getting me like this is to hear like I don't think that folks that are married, I don't think you understand how isolating it is to be the single friend and everybody else has their pair. Yep. It is extremely isolating. If all of my married friends had the same thought process of, well, we're not going to hang out with Asia. Well, we're not going to hang out with Asia. I would be so alone.
Yep.
So alone.
Wow. Okay. Do you feel like that's what we were saying, that we wouldn't hang out with a single friend?
What was said was multiple times it would be extremely limited, and there was actually a scripture used, right? And so instead of it being like, okay, cool, let's, and I don't want to use like a biblical term, but I'm going to use it for the sake of this. Instead of us as the married people discipling our single friends so that they can have marriages that are just as fruitful, that last as long, that they can understand the mistakes that we have made. You expect me as a single person to only hang around single people?
Yep.
Well, see, someone like you, we can tell you're gonna bring the right person around. So if it's a consistent, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna bring the right.
And I hear what y'all are saying, right? And y'all know me. So I'm speaking, I guess I'm coming from a place of like the people that are watching this that are just like me, that are hearing statements like this, right? And then to also hear, dang, okay, so the man that I might potentially be marrying is only hanging around other single men. That actually sucks to me.
Nice.
I think it's nuanced, right? And I'm just telling y'all as this single person here, right? No kids or anything like that, who once again, all of my friends are married. So there are conversations that I've had, like Lewis, that you and I have had. I'm like, wow, dang, okay, I'm getting a lot of perspective here, right? And like, and some of my other, like, okay, cool, like I'm getting a lot of perspective here. When I talk to Britt, and here's the thing, so going back to the scenario, I think having that many dates in that short of time, I think that's aggressive and that's excessive. And I don't think that that's fair, right? Let's say I'm like, I'm down to like the two guys that I'm like, okay, maybe so on and so forth, right? And Keenan, to your question, I trust Britt and I trust her husband, right? I know I can call Britt on the phone. I can give her a recap of the date. Sure. You know what will be so different? I don't see all my blind spots. There have been times that Britt has been around me and she will call me out and she'll say, sis, do you know you're doing that? Whoa, if it's just me, I think I am putting on my Sunday's best.
Yeah, but
Asia, I'm just the best thing walking.
May I really quickly?
Absolutely, yeah.
I really want to be very, this is straight up, no BS. And I appreciate your vulnerability for real. So I'm really not joking. I'm being super honest with you right now. I think there's a level of intentionality that you're removing from yourself about who you bring around those people. You just said, if I'm down to my two, I want to be very clear. Let's use Jay. Like Jay right now, like he's a single friend that I spend a lot of time with and invest a lot of conversations with and even the guys around me in this podcast thing, like they're single, I still invest time in them. I think from the scenario, when the frequency and the window given, that's when it seems like instability is something to play. You and what you said that I think is very different. You took time to vet your process, and in that process, I would assume that you all are having conversations about the things that you're experiencing, and maybe, hey, look, and maybe you go on a coffee date, and I'm gonna use Brittany because she's up here, and Brittany comes with you in that environment. Like, hey, I want you to meet my girl Britt. That's not her bringing her family into it or bringing her husband into it in that initial interaction. I think a lot of times that there's not you. There are a lot of single people that don't understand the boundaries that you can't do, even if I'm hanging out with you without my wife. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to wingman real quick. I'm being super real Earth One. Wingman gonna only look like so much now. Like, you better get your game together real quick, because I'm only all right, bro. Like, hey, look, man, I'm not here for that. Now, I also know that my friends will say, like, man, Keenan ain't going there. Now, if you need a environment, if you need an ear to talk, and you've been putting time into this person, it's time for us to meet, cool. Because would you just bring all those dates around a family member that quick? You know what I mean? And I think when you bring in somebody's spouse, you're leaving them to make another judgment, because they could protect themselves. Now I'm responsible for protecting this person as well. So, Asia, I don't want you. Well, I'm speaking for myself. I don't think it's the going on the double date. I think it's the frequency and the number within that doesn't allow me a fair judgment of that person, because within that 3 months, I'm still dealing with my life. So I still have to create that time to be there for you as a friend while you're going on those dates that we can talk. But to say that I'm going to be, that's my date weekend every weekend, and I'm sacrificing going on a date with my wife to make sure that I'm supporting that friend.
But Keenan, that's totally, I think availability is one thing, right? Like, if you're not available, I think it's okay to say no to your friend if they keep asking you to go out on a double date. But when I was making my statement without using my good sis here as an example, I was waiting for her to express her status online. But she is one of the top 3, right? And I said that, well, even when we're talking about frequency, sometimes people do not see what others may see. If I'm frequently dating over and over and over and over again, I have a friend right now who, like, every 2 months, and I'm like, okay, sis, we have to have a real conversation. You're not seeing it. You clearly not seeing it. And I will literally, that's why I said those conversations are so important. And I don't think there's a problem with going on the double date, because someone genuinely might not understand what they're missing, or the point that they're missing in these conversations, these interactions with men, or something. There's trauma responses. Like, I'm attracted to this person, I can't let it go. Okay, well, let me call you out on it and let me let you know what I see. So I don't think it's a bad thing. That's why I'm a firm believer in, like, yeah, I am the friend that's going to follow up. I am the friend that's going to go, because if I have the time and my husband's okay with it, because you're asking me for a reason. We're not just out here willy-nilly.
But Brittany,
Kenny, let me speak. Let me give me a second. I'm sorry. So I use the wise men walk with wise men to become wise, and et cetera, et cetera. But Asia, to your point, you are hanging around people who are married, and that seems like I ain't gonna get too deep, but that seems like the direction that you're going in. So you are being influenced by people that are already there. Yeah. The point that I made about protecting my marriage, or the boundary, I think is set. And Brittany, you have a unique case, right? Where you are, your peer group or your friend group is majority single women, and that's unique. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not a typical dynamic. I will say for women, it's a lot different, because the ratio for man and woman is 7-1. Right. So for us, when I think about single, the experience of me hanging out with my boy that's single is a little bit different than it is for y'all. And in my experience, and it's just me being honest now, I got to be honest about my experiences. People who have not or not married, they have a difficulty understanding the risk that we face as married people. Like, it's hard to comprehend the risk the risk that associated with being married by being in certain environments, right? When I heard Keenan ask that question, I'm thinking, okay, is my wife going out to a club or socially hanging out at these places with a bunch of single women? Like, that's a red flag for me. It's not negative, but it depends on the type of people that she's interacting with. But I think the experience for men and women is different, and I don't think it's anything wrong. I don't think it's anything wrong with it. But if I had a preference, I would say that that's it. But But it's not a knock to you, Asia, at all, or you, Brittany, because I think you guys have your own individual experiences. You guys are great people, but that was the perspective that I was coming from.
And let me say something to piggyback too.
Hey, bro, that's what we here for. Go ahead, brother.
I think, Brittany, you made a very good point. I think we need to focus on more so like it's not about the double dates. I think it's more so about the conversation after those dates. Are you having that conversation with her, or is he having a conversation with him, saying, "Hey, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? The frequency is very high. Turnover rates looking crazy. Like, what are we doing? Like, or is this what you want to do?" And I think once you establish that, then I think you know how to like move forward with it. But I don't think a lot of conversations are being had between people. Like, again, y'all situation is very unique. Other people are more so like, yeah, we showing up, we doing this, but it's like that conversation and accountability is not being there. From my experience.
Yeah. I just the only thing I would say is I'm not removing the friend portion. I'm removing the 3 and 4 month, 4 going on 4 dates in 4 months portion, not the being a friend too. I think in context of the scenario, I think that energy is necessary to be directed in which way is needed. I also think something that Lewis says that really taught, because I think this too, Asia, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? I think the reason why, and if I may, please check me if I'm wrong, that level of emotion may be provoked, because I think it's rare that you see someone like yourself that's actually verbalizing wanting to go that way in 2025, doing actual actions to. We've heard you say on the pod, I want to become a wife, so I'm going to do things that a wife would do when it comes time, or learn how to do those things. And I think for people like myself, even like in DC recently, like I opened up my home to you all. You know what I mean? If I felt any type of threat, no matter what the relationship status was, that would not happen. I don't care how hot it is outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yes,
it's gonna be hot in July.
Hey, look, bro, because you want to know what? I'm gonna be really real with y'all. I've done it before, and I turned a blind eye to it, and I saw what it could do when you are doing it, and you think y'all friends, buddy. It don't work well. You causing yourself more turmoil. But I'm saying that to say, Asia, the intentionality that you're moving with your life right now is like second to none. So you also got to realize the way you move is going to make people married or single gravitate towards you. Even if it's just to be a friend, even if it's just to be an ear, if it's even just to be on a double date, the way you move as a friend, it will make somebody want to create that space for you to do it. So I think a lot of that has to do with what type of person you are.
Okay. That's true, Miss Asia. I don't even know you before an hour and 42 minutes, and I can tell that you are a godly fearing woman. So you're going to walk in those steps, and you're going to gravitate the right people, and you're going to have the right people around you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to think what I said neither was, you know what I'm saying? Because I just met you, baby. You know what I mean? And I can tell from right now that you are a beautiful inside and out, godly fearing woman, both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So don't take that the wrong way. Okay. Because
appreciate y'all. I just had to, you know, I think there are moments that and y'all actually say this a lot, like the guys, they're like, not y'all, right? But I do think that we do represent a population of folks, right? Like I do think, yes, there are some women that are like very irresponsible and all those things, but I also think like with the types of conversations that we have, there are going to be women that are like me, right? That like we're trying out here, like we're doing all that we can do, and most of our friends are married. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always just feel like I have to make sure that some of the statements don't fall to like,
I think you're doing it the right way.
We're assuming the worst from the single friend. And it's like, well, there's some of us that like, we're actually good friends out here. And like, we're not trying to jeopardize your marriage, because that would also be like, y'all know when like this celebrity couples and people like, well, they don't make it, like, oh my gosh, like it's like the end of the world. Like that's how I view like my married friends. I'm like, no, like these are some like I brag on y'all so much. Like I real life do. Like I'm always like, no, like y'all don't get it. Like all my friends are married, but like their marriages are like like top tier marriages. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, that's a pride and that's a badge that I wear proud. You know what I'm saying? And so like, so I'm speaking for the folks that are like in my position, that it's like, I don't want us to always assume the worst of the single friend or that it could like, bring y'all down. That's
so
all.
hey, look, that means whoever he is, y'all better come right, but you can't have step with Miss Asia. You better come right. Real quick before we get to this fair foul, since they said getting insight from people who have experience is important to some single folks. I think single folks who want to be married actually want to chill with married people so they get their goal, so they can get to their goal.
Yeah.
We agree, bro. We agree, bro. For sure.
Yeah.
And don't be the I will say this, and we're gonna transition. Don't be the judgy type married people. Like, remember when you were single all them ages ago? You know what I'm saying? When we was young punks. You know what I'm saying?
Young.
All right, let's get into this pair of facts. Real quick, so I gotta answer this question. Yes, myself, King David, Lewis, are married. You know what I'm saying,
I guess,
and Brittany too.
Brittany's only on the weekend. Only on the weekend.
Hey,
Brittany's very much married.
hey, she's dated it 15 times. Hey,
look, so I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell y'all what froze me up later. But yes, we have marital experience. I'm sorry, Brittany. I ain't mean no disrespect. I apologize.
Yeah.
So fair or foul, y'all. Loyalty is better than love. Is that fair or is that foul?
Loyalty is better than love.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm fair, man. Loyalty is valuable, dog.
Loyalty is royalty.
Man,
it's fair to me too, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Loyalty is, man. Look, man. To me, I was talking to my wife about this the other day. To me, that is the single most important quality for me to have any type of relationship with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the trait that once you show me that you're not loyal, that's the trait that'll make me step away. So out of all the traits that someone presents to Lewis, that is the most significant.
Ooh, brother, you better say that one more time, boy. Say that one more time.
Good, boy.
Yes, I echo you again on that one. Yeah, boy.
I didn't hear Brittany, Jay, and Asia though. Y'all fair or y'all foul before we get to the comment? Say again, Jay.
Fair.
Your mic coming in. I'll say it one more time.
I said it's fair.
Oh, huh?
Man, shut the fuck, man. We heard
you. We hear you, Jay. We hear you, bro.
Asia, Brittany, what's up?
Fair or foul? To name all married people on the podcast except Britt.
Foul.
Foul.
I'm
gonna say foul. I'm gonna start off and say foul.
Okay. That's touche, bro. I can't even. Asia, Brittany.
What you think, Britt? What you think?
Oh, I thought you said something. I thought your mic. I'm gonna say fair. I don't think you can have one without the other. To be honest, I think loyalty overrides love. You can't have loyalty without love.
You see?
Yeah.
Loyalty.
I just think.
What you thinking, Asia?
Did Asia answer?
No.
Oh my God, bro! Hey man, y'all got it, man.
Stuck. Only because I definitely think that it's fair, but in my mind, it's like, but if you love me, you should be loyal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I in my head, I just feel like you can have loyalty and no love, but I don't think that you can have love without loyalty. I really feel that in my heart. So in my head, I'm like, I feel like if I pick love, the loyalty is going to come right with it, but I have to be realistic and understand that that's not actually the case.
Right.
There's too many cheaters out here.
Right. And see, once again, that makes me sad because it really should be, if you love me, you will be loyal to me.
Absolutely.
So right? You could love a plethora of things. Loyalty, it's only a few things you can be loyal to. You can love a lot of things, but it's only a few things you could be loyal. It's only but so many people. When you talk about loyalty, it's only so many people that you really loyal to. It's so many things that you are loyal to, in my opinion. Yeah. Just in my opinion. And I think for me,
you're right.
I think for me, I'm sorry, this is a hot topic for me, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Go ahead, brother. Hey, look, I'm here all night.
Loyalty, to me, loyalty is not something that can be bought. Loyalty is not something that is taught. It's something that someone is in you. Like someone makes the decision that, hey, I'm gonna be loyal to this person. And man, when you have somebody that's loyal, man, they're dependable, reliable. You know what I'm saying? You can build trust off of that. You get what I'm saying? Like you ain't necessarily got to like the person, but you know what they always gonna be. You know, it's just loyalty.
The love
is so
gonna
valuable,
come with the loyalty. The love gonna come with the loyalty.
Love will come with it. Most cases.
Like y'all ever seen like a good drug movie, and the second, like the driver's always loyal before they even know anybody for real, and like they don't never question nothing, and over time, like they become road dogs because it's like, oh nah, bro, this is what I do. You need what? Boom. You know what I'm saying?
Man, dog.
I want to say this, not to turn it left, but I want to say this real quick. I do agree with everything Lewis said. I think depending on how you manage your internal battles or your trauma, whatever the case may be, you can't have a disloyal moment that doesn't impact your overall loyalty. Now, am I promoting that? No. Hear me out. And I'm not being funny. I think so often we can get so stuck into characteristics and integrity. People have moments. You know what I mean? And I'm not always going straight to cheating. I'm not even going straight to cheating. But I'll give you an example. You can be loyal to someone. You have a conversation. What somebody says is misinterpreted as something, and you didn't think that you put that out, and it gets back around to that person, and they could feel like you were disloyal. And it's like, I never did that or had that intent around that. I think a lot of times, who you are loyal to, y'all have to have an alignment on what loyalty looks like. That there's a lot of people that say loyalty, and they do not mean that. That means that I do this when you're watching me. But when I'm behind closed doors or away from it, what am I really doing or what am I really speaking on? Lewis, you don't think?
I think that's being disloyal, dog.
I think you can have a disloyal moment, bro. I'm not saying I'm a fan of it. I don't think there's anybody that's 100% anything is the point I'm making.
I agree with that. And let me tell you this, because I just thought about this. Because here's the thing. If you commit a crime, and they come after me, I'm not being loyal. I'm loyal to me. I'm not doing your time. Absolutely. I love you enough. Matter of fact, I love you enough.
So you're going to pick the love?
You will be held responsible for your actions.
Boom.
I'm not going down for that and have a record. You're bugging. No, I'm not that loyal. I'm not that loyal.
Well, a real friend ain't gonna put you in a situation like that. A real
That's
friend.
Right.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? A real spouse, real, person ain't gonna.
I agree. And just in case they have to slip up like Keenan's talking about, they gonna slip right up in the jailhouse, and they bet not slip and fall.
I know that's right, honey.
See, that's what but a loyal friend to say, hey, go do that if you want to. They come here, I'm telling it, man. So if you do that, you on your own. Know that now. Know that now. Go ahead, Brittany.
I'm not saying nothing. I agree. y'all loyal to y'all barbers?
Now I'm gonna be honest with you, honey. I'm gonna be right now looking like Django's stuntman, and I'm about to break up with mine.
Yeah.
This
hey, but you gotta break up first before you go to another one, right?
Man, not necessarily. Sometimes you can just be all bad by yourself. You can just look. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'd rather just look woofy if you don't want to cut my hair. Just tell me. You ain't got to raise the prices up. Just tell me you don't want to cut. He took us. They out here, boy. They charging landscaping prices for a haircut. Me and my son, we both walking around looking like Willy Bullet. Me and my son, we supposed to have fades. I'm supposed to have a fade right now. Oh, that's supposed to be faded out. I'm about to break up with mine right now.
Man, I'm with you. Hey, so anybody's last thoughts on loyalty, man? Hey, Louis, but I didn't get it. Do you believe a loyal person can have a disloyal moment?
I'm working on myself, so I don't know, bro.
What you mean working on yourself?
Cause, man, like you crossed that line with me, dog.
I know that's right.
Man, listen, I'm trying, yo. I'm trying.
So give a moment of that. Give an example of that, non-relationship wise. Give a friend example. So of a line that you feel like will be crossed that somebody can't come back from,
Man,
and say,
I can't even speak on it, bro.
Damn. All right, bloodbath.
That's for real. That's real, bro. Because I'm in the middle of that right now. I can't even speak on it, dog.
Oh, okay. All right. Respect. All right, bro. I'm just gonna call you after we get out, bro. What I do? My fault, bro.
Well, you know what? I can show enough because boy, Lewis can tell you, man. I grew up with a slung of gorillas, man. I had homies over here, homies over there. Man, ask me who you got. Ask me, do you see those same people around me, man? Nope. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People's energy, man. So, like being loyal to, how can you be loyal to somebody that ain't loyal to you? You know what I'm saying? Or ain't giving you that same thing. You know, being loyal, you got to be loyal to yourself. When you loyalty to yourself, that's going to reflect others. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like I said, I grew up with a slung of them, man. And hey, man, all of them, they came to, I'm going to give you an example, okay? Like when I first started doing comedy, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, getting my feet wet, letting my feet touch the waters, you know what I'm saying? People already that know me, like, oh man, Kyle funny, man. Oh man. But being on stage funny is totally different from me talking to you funny. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Coming up with a set, coming up with this, coming up with that. So I had to do that. You know, when I got on stage, I guess I didn't perform well as some may thought. Before the sun went down and the moon came up, everybody back home. And brother know how small back home is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody back home. Man, how was Kyle's show, man? You go to Kyle's show, man. Kyle need to stick to his 9 to 5, man. He need to stay doing what he doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And so now the reason why you don't have those people around, I don't have those people around like that. See, I eliminate them. I held the mirror up to folks. But when they start eating their own words and they see me on the stages with the Alex Thomases and Sinbads and hosting at the Comedy Zone out here in Greensboro and Charlotte as well, when they started seeing that, they was like, oh, man. So when people would ask them, man, because I done cut them off, you know, why don't you be with Kyle? Why don't you be around Kyle, man? He doing this thing, man. We see him popping off. Oh, man, Kyle, he Hollywood now, man. He this, he that. See, the loyalty is never there from the jump. You know what I'm saying? It's never there from the get-go. People like you only enough till they can get a little benefit from you. You know what I'm saying? They like what they can get off of you. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta watch who you give your loyalty to, and you gotta watch who you call a friend, because we use that word so loosely. So loosely. Me and Lewis ain't talked in years, man, but we picked up right where we left off. I ain't going around talking junk about him. Lewis ain't going around. Man, Kyle was my homeboy, was my boy, but now he done doing content. He's a comedian now. He Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? It's love. When bro hit me up, it was love, man. I was so happy to hear from him. He's always hit me up through my career. You know what I'm saying? Him and his brother, man. They the same, boy. They don't just look alike. They the same, man. Them some two good brothers right there, man. And they would hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Just letting me know they watch me, man. Hey, man, we inspired off what you're doing, Kyle. Keep it up. Keep going. Stuff like that. That's who you be loyal to. People that's good to you. That's right. When he hit me up and he asked me about this interview, I don't care what I was doing, bro. I got brands up to here that I am like doing stuff for, man. I stopped what I was doing to make sure I got on here with my man. That's loyalty.
No, you know for sure. Dope.
That's loyalty.
And to your and we appreciate you coming through, bro. It means a lot for real, man. And
oh man,
I think one of the things you said and I can relate to that not as long as you, but I've known Lewis for a long time, Jay for a long time. I actually to the single friend conversation. Like I actually met Jay through my wife. He was a male friend of my wife's. But I'm saying that to say I think loyalty is also grounded in what I'm proud about, especially in real life, and some of my bros that's on this pod with me. Like we don't want anything from each other. So it's hard to get jealous when you're not really like, bro, we was like, I guess to see us have nothing. And now that we have something, like we ain't have nothing for real. So what we really like talking about? You know what I'm saying?
It's only two things you can do in life, man. You can either inspire people or intimidate people. And it ain't your fault on either one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just whichever boat they hop on, man. You know what I'm saying? And like all of y'all, man, like y'all have something, y'all are loyalty to each other. Look at y'all doing this on a consistent basis, man. And that's one thing I want to say to y'all, man. Y'all keep it up. You keep it going, because what God has for y'all is for y'all. You know what I mean? Nobody can take that from you. You know what I'm saying? And I just admire how consistent y'all are, and it's a group of y'all. You just heard me tell you, I had a gorillas. I had nothing but people around me, man.
For sure.
And that consistency fell off because of their lack of loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got loyalty amongst each other, man. Y'all keep it doing. Y'all keep it going, because I love what y'all doing. It's inspiring to me. You know what I'm saying? It makes me want to keep going. You know what I mean? And that's what we're supposed to be doing for one another, inspiring each other and motivating each other closer to God, man. Because when you riding that gift, when you following that dream, you closer to Him, man. And He gonna bring people for you and around you to get you to your destination, man. And that's what this is right here. Y'all family to me now. We cousins now, y'all.
You coming to the show in Charlotte then?
Man, just as sure as zebras got stripes, man.
All right, here we go.
Hey, look, man, I don't think there's no better way to end it, man. So first and foremost, man, hey, real quick though, King David, I do want to get opportunity. Could you tell people where to follow you at, where they can get all your acts and everything, so we make sure we show you that love as well on our platform?
Most definitely, man. Y'all can follow me on all platforms, man, as comedian King David. Big Faith Family. I go by that logo, man. I go by that. Your faith is big as your faith and your blessings walk hand in hand. You got big faith, doggone it, you're gonna have big blessings, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's my motto, y'all. And make sure y'all follow your boy, man. And hey, y'all keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
So hey, look, man, appreciate everybody tapping in tonight, man. Make sure you subscribe to the page, hit that bell notification. We finished DC in May. Charlotte, you know we on the way. July 12th. Tickets are on Podge, man. Tap in with the team. It's your boy K.Mims. I got the ladies of the show tonight, Miss Asia and Miss Brittany. I'm gonna apologize to Brittany again. I'm sorry. She is married, and I'm sorry. Okay, I said it publicly. I got the fellas of the show tonight. Myself, DJ J Dub, King David, Louis B. We are the Monday Night Crew, and we are out.